Triple H tells NXT talent he's back. Plus, Rhea Ripley is dealing with a brain injury, we've heard today. And scrapped plans for an NXT Stars SmackDown call-up have been revealed. It's all in the wrestling news right now. Just in case you've forgotten, let me tell you just who in the hell I am. I am the game, and you bet your ass I'm back. 2002, January, Triple H. All denimed to the nines, making his big return after ripping his quads to smithereens. I'd like to think he delivered a very similar thing yesterday. What happened, Andrew?
Let me tell
happened?
you. So John Pollock from Post Wrestling, according to multiple sources, Paul Levesque was, I don't know why I did that then. Levesque was in Orlando today and spoke at the Performance Center. Of the people I heard from, Levesque stated, he's back. It is unknown what that entails, but that was the wording I was given. And then Brian Alvarez also confirming the Triple H visit on the Wrestling Observer Live, adding WWE's Executive Vice President of Global Talent Strategy and Development said he was there for business reasons and he couldn't say why yet.
Now, this kind of hints that Triple H is there to take back a little bit more control of his baby. A lot of people, I think the general consensus is that Triple H was kind of pushed away from the business or sort of jobbed out of the business with Nick Khan's rise. I know that Nick Khan, in very few interviews that he has done, has spoken very highly of Triple H. I mean, I think he was invited to Triple H's birthday party, and that was kind of what led to... they had cake and they played Pin the Tail on the Donkey. And Spider-Man turned up. It was brilliant. Wow. But I think I feel like there is a kinship between them. Now, I'm not naive enough to think that that's just Nick Khan saying the right words at the right time.
Yeah.
But I feel like that maybe Nick Khan could potentially, whilst Nick Khan does want to be, a Thanos-esque overlord of WWE, I think leaving Triple H to run NXT with a bit of overseeing is something that might be in his plan potentially.
Yeah,
Get
definitely.
back to where we were, because I think the whole thing of Vince taking over was, I think, of sort of Vince and Bruce having more control over NXT was a bit more of a Vince mandate, than a Nick Khan one.
Yeah, and I think this is just something. If this is to be true, and Triple H is back and he's having a little more control over NXT again, this can only be a good thing. Can't it? Like, I mean, nothing to take away from NXT 2.0 now, but we loved the black and gold brand, didn't we? It was just something a little bit special, especially in WWE, sort of in the era that WWE was in at the time. It was something a little bit exciting that could rival the sort of promotions that we maybe thought about in more of a, I don't know how to describe it, in like a, I guess in a indie kind of way,
I think I hear that, and I was a massive fan of NXT's super indie years. Yeah, massive fan of that. I thought some of the best wrestling products, on the planet. The issue, I think that I think they have to meet in the middle, right?
Yeah,
because NXT is still a developmental brand for WWE.
Yes.
And whilst some stars have come through that system and become megastars, i.e. your Roman Reigns. Let's not forget that Liaki started his journey over there. Your Seth Rollins started their journey there. Drew McIntyre made his comeback to WWE through the NXT system, and now here he is, back top of the tree and having a laugh. There's been many that have come through there who are staple parts of the product now, because it's easy just to go, every call-up equals bad, fed bad, lol. There have been success stories, but in recent memory, it's been a bit sketchy.
Yes.
So, and that's because there was this disconnect, because NXT was this super indie, that the values of which were very different to what Raw and SmackDown's values are. So I'm not against, like, NXT 2.0, I like the fact that, in theory, you have talent that you're building with gimmicks and characters that are agreed upon already that can move over to Raw and SmackDown fine. Hasn't truly happened just yet, but that's kind of what I feel is what it is. Like, I can't imagine them taking Bron Breakker, putting him on SmackDown and going, your name is now Jimmy McBimmy, and you're a dentist. I can't see them doing that with a Braun Breaker. But I could see them doing that with a lot of Triple H creations. So somewhere in the middle, I think, is fine. I think Triple H having hands on that product in any way, shape, or form is a good thing.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. Think. You put it absolutely perfectly, young man.
There's some words in there that somewhat made sense. Rhea Ripley's missing Money in the Bank. Another person that came through the NXT system.
Yeah.
And has absolutely shone. Rhea Ripley, there's a great example. But she was set to be a Money in the Bank facing Bianca Belair. An undisclosed injury has taken her off the card. Undisclosed until now, anyway. So what's the crack here, Andrew?
So Ripley confirmed details of the injury that has sidelined her from Money in the Bank after replying to someone on Instagram. Now, someone posted a comment on one of her posts saying, "You don't look injured like someone said," eye emojis. And then Ripley replied, "Brain/teeth. Can't see your brain injury. Stop being incompetent and reaching at nothing." So what could that potentially mean? Maybe a concussion?
I think it seems like a concussion for Rhea Ripley. Very likely caused by the same way that her teeth got rattled.
Yes.
When she kneed herself in the face, taking a DDT. And fair play to Rhea Ripley, who's hard as nails and can give herself a V trigger and keep on keeping on. But she's got braces now to keep her teeth in place while they get fixed. So I imagine that there's a concussion concern as well. For they're very cautious with these now. So that would be what it is. So she seems like she's in good spirits. Regardless, like the stuff that she posts on Instagram and things, she seems in good spirits. So we hope it's a speedy recovery for her, because we were just about to see her just like flying again.
I was very excited to see a Bianca Belair and Rhea Ripley title match go down, but thinking about it, we've got that in the future, don't we? So that's something to look forward to.
This was such a perfect time for Rhea Ripley, because in the middle of a very popular gimmick, working with the likes of Finn Balor and Edge in a title match, Charlotte Flair nowhere near. It all seemed perfect. All seemed perfect. I hope we can get back there very soon. Bit of Ric Flair news. Speaking of Charlotte Flair, let's talk about her dirter. So Flair's been getting ready for Ric Flair's last match in July. And he's been training with Jay Lethal. We've seen video footage of him and Jay going through routines and stuff and going, "Oh, Ric's he's still going.
He's there. Yeah.
Please, dear. However, there's a little bit of tension between the two now. Ric Flair talked about it on his podcast with Conrad Thompson. He said, "Jay Lethal's got an attitude. He wants to be part of the show. And I said, it ain't going to happen. That happens, and all of a sudden, everyone's feelings are hurt. I don't have the authority, or even though I guess I'm the owner of this adventure, I don't have the authority to put him on the card. So I think he's upset about that, but he'll get over it." It's a shame that I totally get it. Like, what authority does Ric Flair have to add anybody he knows to the show Ric Flair's last match? What authority? He has no authority, Jackie Weaver. I can see why Jay Lethal would be annoyed. Like, he's been working with Flair, and it's not like Jay. To quote the great Bobby Heenan, it's not like Jay Lethal is a ham and egger. He's not like a nobody type wrestler. He's a phenomenal performer. And
not to mention, I think the stuff that we saw in Impact and TNA between him and Ric Flair, entertaining. I thought it was really entertaining.
Exactly.
And, it would have been cool to see something like that. And maybe thinking about it, with Lethal helping to train Rick and get him back into ring shape for stuff, you'd have thought maybe there'd have been a little bit of, back and forth there in terms of, you can be on my show because you help me do this kind of thing.
Exactly. Yeah. There's no ham and no eggs to be found around Jay Lethal. Put him on the show. We'll end on some news from SmackDown and an NXT star. Give us some details about what he nearly ended up doing. What are we talking about, Andrew?
Talking about Solo Sikoa, Tom. So he was speaking with WWE on BT Sport about scrap plans for a main roster call-up alongside Jimmy and Jey Uso. He said, "I don't want to be referred to as their brother, their cousin. I want people to recognize me for me. Before I debuted on TV, WWE Creative were like, we'll put you on with your brothers. Then the next meeting was like, let's see what you can do on your own. I feel like this is my time now. This is the time for fans to recognize me as Solo instead of with Jimmy and Jay. And I think that's a very good point indeed.
Yes, I think it's good that he's standing out on his own, doing his own thing. I kind of felt like it'd be a matter of time before he would be part of the bloodline. It seems like an obvious one. I guess maybe they're holding him back for another endeavor, maybe. Obviously,
maybe.
He's finding his own voice, doing his own thing on NXT UK. Do we see him eventually coming up and being part of all of that mix?
Maybe. I think now at the moment he's very much embroiled in the North American title scene stuff. And I genuinely do feel like he just wants to be his own person. It's difficult to be your own person when you're in such a lineage as that, right? Like we see at NXT 2.0 when he's in the ring, they just chant Uso and stuff at him all the time. And that not that that's got to be disheartening to him, but he wants to be his own person.
He wrestles very much like an Uso.
He does. That's true. That's true.
You know, if you're going to make him on 2K22, you just copy the Uso moveset. And you've got him there. I'm happy with him doing what he's doing.
Me too.
I could see him at some point going up and them naming him Jimmy McBimmy.
Jimmy Uso. Bimmy Uso.
There you go.
That works well.
Bimmy Uso. Get that? We've covered some great names in the last two videos. Brooks and Dunn, Bimmy Uso. What a time to be alive. Predictions for AEW New Japan Pro Wrestling Forbidden Door on the channel a little later on today. Cowboy Andrew defends his Cultaholic Heavyweight Championship against me.
Ooh.
Well done, mate.
Thanks.
No, it's definitely me. I won't even tell you anything else. It's
you have me going then.
Spoilers. And we'll have more wrestling news throughout the day at cultaholic.com. Keys.
Love you. Bye.